Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to our Training Thursday show, this Thursday edition of the Cabral Concept. Excited to get back into talking about exercise, working out, and today specifically, what you can be doing while many of us are locked inside of our houses. I guess, figuratively speaking, we are only locked down, but the truth is that, at least where I am, we are not supposed to be outside at all unless you're going to a grocery store, unless you're going to a medical visit, or if you're taking a walk for exercise. The amazing thing has been that I'm seeing more people than I've ever seen begin to start walking. So I can't recommend enough going and getting your 10,000 steps per day. I mean, just the ability to go outside for a moment, get some fresh air, breathe. You can still keep your distance from one another, but being able to get a little sunshine, especially with springtime starting to creep in for many of us, and that vitamin D being so important for our body and for kids too. I know a lot of kids are doing virtual online classes right now, but to be able to break that up, to be able to get them a little time outside certainly will help them sleep better at night. It will reduce anxiety. Remember, never forget that kids know a whole lot more than we think they know about what's going on. So, if we're all in this together, if families are in this together, which we are, then that does mean that we need to do the best we can. And that means, getting our kids out, and what we're doing is we're doing a nighttime walk. We've never done this before. But after dinner, we're having dinner a little bit earlier because I can start my work day a little bit earlier because I can work all day long at home. So what we're doing is we're getting outside and we're taking an after dinner walk as well. And the sun is setting. It's been really beautiful. And so there are things that can really come out of our time in quarantine that we might be able to carry into the future. So it is my greatest hope that people care more about their health, that they eat better in the future, that they use better nutritional supplements in the future, that they exercise more, that they get their 10,000 steps per day, that they're focused on their sleep, right? I just hope that this might be a new trend because we know that a healthy body, a balanced immune system is beating the virus, right? That's what we know. We do know that. And we know that's why it affects people that are immune compromised. It's why that people over 75 are not faring as well. So again, my hope is just to get people more invigorated into exercise. And if you're 60 years old or older, now is the time, right? If it wasn't the time 10 years ago, 20 years, 30 years ago, however long, now's the time. Begin to move that body. You still get a ton of benefit, right? You really do. Exercise more days than not. Work up to 10,000 steps a day. It doesn't have to happen tomorrow. If you're like the average American, you might get 3,500 steps per day. No problem. Add another 1,000 steps a week. It's 10 more minutes a day of walking. That's about it. Okay, but we've got bigger topics to talk about today, and that is a new home workout. I've given you many home workouts to do before, but this is one that you can do with just one piece of exercise equipment, and that would be a band. And now I'm also going to give you a way to do it if you don't even have a band at home. So what I have, and I've shared this many times before, and I was lucky to bring this with me. I brought it because I bring this exercise band with me. I wish I had this on video. Again, my goal in April, you're listening to this, my goal was to have all of my podcasts to be video podcasts as well. Well, I still haven't been home. I won't be home for 2 months essentially. And that's because I was in Australia. And luckily, I brought my band to do band workouts in Australia. So now that I'm on the West Coast and I'm waiting it out because Boston is one of the top areas that have been hit the hardest with COVID-19. If I go back now, then I have to stay inside permanently for 14 days under full quarantine. So luckily I have this band, and that's why it's a great thing to travel with. It really is. But you know what? We always travel with our body, right? We take it everywhere we go. So I'm going to give you a great body weight and or band workout today that I hope that you'll follow along with. And I'm going to write it down over at stephencabral.com/15 1524. So you can check it out over at stephencabral.com/1524. It'll have some of my favorites that I've given you before, and I'll mix in about 50% new exercises. Okay, so let's get right into it. Very simply put, it's a 10-minute at-home workout. If you decide to do 2 rounds for a full, big workout, it'll be 20 minutes. That's about it. So I'm doing a 20-minute workout most days of the week because I can be doing my calls, I can be working with my team, I can be recording podcasts, and all I have is a very rudimentary space and a bedroom to be able to exercise. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just making the best of the space. So you could do this outside. You are allowed to exercise in many places outside, so you can certainly do it outside as well. Just bring your band. All right, so let's go over it. 10-minute workout. If you want to do 2 rounds, you're welcome to do 2 rounds, and that'll give you a 20-minute workout. And of course, if you did 3 rounds, that would be 30 minutes. Okay, so it is going to be 9 exercises. 9 exercises with a 1-minute rest at the end, taking it to essentially a 10-minute workout. You'll see a little caveat in there, but that's what it is. So the first exercise, I'm going to give you, not only going to give you the exercise, but for personal trainers and health professionals out there listening to this, I'm also going to give you the reason why I chose these exercises in this order, okay? So we know that the body moves in 3 planes of motion, forward and backwards, okay? It moves side to side, and it moves basically in rotation or anti-rotation, and that's called the transverse plane. So sagittal plane, forward and back, side to side, called the frontal plane or lateral plane, and the rotation or anti-rotation is called the transverse plane. So we know the body just moves in those 3 directions, and we can make up exercises based on that to keep the body balanced. So I'm going to take you through it right now. The very first exercise is good old push-ups. And how many do I want you to do? Well, I want you to do as many as possible. That's what I want you to do. As many push-ups as possible with good form, right? I don't want you to fail on the last one. I want you to stop before the body fails. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I can't do push-ups. Well, you can. You just have to do them inclined, right? So you'll do them with your hands on a desk, a hands on a dresser or a bureau, a hands on your bed, however you want to do them. And then the lower you bring your hands towards the floor, the more challenging they get. So once you could do 10 push-ups with your hands on the bed, good. Then go down 1 foot lower, okay? So take it down to a little bit lower. Maybe that's a low chair or maybe that's a stool, okay? And then after that, you'll do them on the ground. Very, very straightforward. How many would I like you to do? Again, as many as possible. I'd love women to be able to do 10, and I'd love men to be able to do 25. Would I like women to be able to do 25 and men to do 50? Or would I like women and men to be able to do 50? Of course, absolutely. Without a doubt. As many as you can. There's no saying that because you're 65, you can only do 5, or because you're a male in your 20s, you should be able to do 100, or you're a female in your 30s that you should be able to do 50. There's no set parameter. You're going to do as many as you can do. That's it. So that is your push-ups, right? Good form for we're doing all of these for up to 1 minute. And I'm going to share with you, I'll put it right at stephencabral.com/1525. So it's actually, today's show is stephencabral.com/1525. And I'm going to put a loop timer that's completely free on that webpage. So that means that you can actually set it for 60 seconds for 1 minute, and it will beep every time you've done 1 minute of that exercise. So you can do it by reps or you can do it by time. All right? Okay. So the second exercise, we just did upper body. So now we're going to switch to lower body, and we're going to do band squats. So all you're going to do is step on your exercise band. I'll link up the one that I use, again, at the stephencabral.com/1525. And I want you to stand on it, right where it comes together, right where the plastic pieces are. And then I want you to squat down and grab the bands, the handles, and put them right beside your shoulders. And then I want you to stand up, and it will add tension, right? Because the band will have to stretch like an elastic. And then you're going to squat down slowly. Now, let's say that you can't do, though, body weight squats for more than 15. Well, all you need to use then is your own body weight. And what if you have difficulty squatting? What if your knees hurt? What if your form is poor? No problem at all, right? So this is what you do. You get yourself a kitchen chair. You sit backwards, hips first, into the chair. Keep your abs tight, your core tight. As you land, come down softly and slowly, and then stand back up. That's all that I want you to do. Remember, the goal with exercise, the goal with nutrition, the goal with health is to always create more solutions for yourself than problems and excuses. And I don't allow that. I really don't. I do not allow people to give me excuses. I say, listen, your excuse is valid, but what's our solution to that? Because I'm not going to let you give up, and I'm not going to let you give up on you. So if you tell me, oh, I'm 75, my knees hurt, my joints hurt, I get it. I understand. Anti-inflammatory diet, good nutritional supplements, sauna, self-abhyanga-based massage, exercise. You don't get to not exercise. No, that's not an excuse, because that can actually move blood flow and be beneficial. Here's how we're going to do those squats. And I have a video on how to squat that I'll try to link up as well. Okay, so we've got our squats down either with bands or body weight up to 1 minute, or for most people, somewhere between 10 and 20 reps. Perfect. Okay, the next one is inverted rows. Now, I would typically be doing chin-ups or neutral grip pull-ups if I was at my house in Boston, but I'm not, right? Or if I was at my gym in Boston or my studio in Boston. I've got plenty of places to work out, but here I don't. There's no gyms, they're closed. There's no personal training studios, they're closed. And I don't have a pull-up bar, and there's none available that I could get at our local Walmart here or whatever we're at. So here's what I'm doing. I have a broomstick, and I just put that broomstick over 2 chairs. That's all that I did. And you can put it through the spokes of chairs. You can put it on top of chairs. Just make sure it doesn't roll on you. And you look up to the ceiling while holding that bar just past shoulder width. And what you're doing is you can either keep yourself in a bridge or your legs out straight, and you pull your chest up to that bar. It's the exact opposite of a push-up. That's because we want to keep the body balanced. Remember, we want to work those back muscles. Those back muscles are your rhomboids, and it's your teres, and it's your teres minor major, it's your infraspinatus. We won't go through all of them here today. But what you want to do is those are your postural muscles. And I mean, how many of us are looking over a computer, rounded shouldered over our phone, seated for most of the day? We need to open up the chest. We need to stretch the chest and contract the back muscles. Inverted rows will do that. And anybody can do them. Again, you just raise the height if they're difficult. We do this in our studio in Boston all the time. Raise the height. And keep your body in a bridge, meaning your knees more bent to a right angle rather than all the way out straight. The more straight you keep your legs, the more your hips are up, well, the more challenging it becomes. That's a good thing. You can work your way up to that. So again, up to 1 minute. Most people won't do a minute of those. They'll do somewhere between 10 and 20 reps. All right. So we did upper body, lower body, upper body. Let's go back to the lower body. Now, let's move in a different plane of motion. We're going to move side to side. So we're going to do lateral lunges. I'm going to have you keep your feet in a line, and you're going to lunge to your right side. You're going to sit back on your hips first, keep the weight on your heel, sit back in your glutes, and then as you keep your inside leg, your left leg, let's say straight, and your right leg bends as you move your right leg into a lunge, you're going to push back with your right leg to center. You're going to step together, feet together, and then you're going to lunge to your left side. Really nice exercise called alternating lateral lunges. And you will do that for about 30 repetitions. It could be anywhere from 20 to 30, and that would be 15 reps on each side, all the way down to 10 reps on each side, right? So anywhere around that, totally fine. A great one to do completely body weight. Really nice exercise. Now, let's just say you're advanced and you want to do a full minute of that. You want to do more than 30, you're welcome to. But 15 reps per side, you can simply get a little bit deeper with each lunge, the better you get. All right, the next one, body weight exercise. All you need is a chair or a bench outside. So what you want to do is simply put your hands palms down or holding the side of a chair if it's in close to your hips. And what I'd like you to do is walk your feet out just to basically a bridge position. Again, bent knees. I'm going to have you lower yourself slowly. And the only issue with chair dips is that you need to watch out for too much what's called shoulder flexion. So don't let your shoulders round in, and don't allow your elbows to go above your shoulders. That's too much internal rotation. It's actually too much pressure on the AC joint and the rotator cuff joints. So very, very important that we just follow those rules. And as it gets easier, well, you can simply elevate your feet. You still won't go super deep, and you can increase the reps. How many reps can you do? Anywhere from 10 reps to 30 reps, whatever works for you, up to 1 minute, okay? So chair dips. So we just went upper body, lower body, lower body, and chair dips was upper body for the triceps, mainly for the triceps. Okay. Next up, we have a great exercise. It's going to be a one arm, one leg reach to a row. What does that mean? It sounds very complicated. Well, not really. All you're doing is taking a dumbbell at home or a band at home, and you're going to put that band under the door or on the side. I put mine on the side of the door near the hinge but low. I step back until there's tension on the band. Let's say I have my left leg down. My right hand is holding the band then. I just drop the other handle. And I stretch towards the door with my hip going back, but my hand going forward, kind of like almost like the brave warrior in yoga, but just with one arm, one leg. And then I'm going to pull back, straighten my body up tall, and actually pull back with my hand to my right oblique or to my right hip. And I'll try to get a demo video and an image for you to see at stevencabral.com/1525. It's called a one-arm reach to a row, or a one-leg RDL, some people call it, to a row. Now I have a row in there for a little extra back work. And the reason I have that in there, because you don't need to do it with a row, but the reason I have it in there is because I really believe that so many of us, myself included, are just hunched over a laptop or our phone now all day. So let's really work on that posture. Let's do more for our posture and our back muscles than we're doing for our chest, right? We want to stretch open the chest, work the back. All right. And then what you do is you alternate sides. So you can do one side for 10 reps to 15 reps, and then you'll switch over to the other side for 10 to 15 reps. All right? Practice it. You can even just do a body weight, honestly. We have people sometimes warm up with it. We put a cone on the ground and a tennis ball on top of it. And all they're doing is reaching forward. They're on one leg. They're reaching forward with one arm, pick the tennis ball up, come back to the top. Then on the next rep, sit back again with their hips, put the tennis ball back on top of the cone. Really simple exercise, super effective though, okay? I've seen people online doing it with putting down a book on the floor, picking the book back up with one arm, one leg. Feel free to experiment. Honestly, these are meant to be fun at-home workouts. We all need to keep our bodies moving. I'm doing this exact workout that I'm telling you right now twice a week. Okay, so the band bicep curls is the next one. Well, our bicep curls are going to balance our chair dips, which were for the triceps. And all you're doing is stepping on that band. Okay, you can get different size bands if you'd like. And you are keeping your hands, let's just do palm up, and then you're going to squeeze to the top, keeping your elbows back. Don't round your shoulders forward. And you're going to squeeze your biceps. Don't just let the bands drop back down. You're going to ease the bands down. That's called the negative or the eccentric phase of the movement. Just as important as the concentric, where you're squeezing up to the top, and then ease them back down. Really, really nice. Okay, now we're going to move into our core. And we're going to actually be doing a one leg up crunch. Haven't talked about this exercise in a while. Here's why I want to give it to you. It's an isolation-based exercise, but it contracts the transverse abdominis and rectus abdominis. And it does it in a safe way for your lower back. It's actually very, very simple to do, just not a lot of people do it. So you're just going to lie on your back on the floor. You're going to lift your head and upper back off the floor. You're going to lift both legs off the floor, but one leg is reached out straight in front of you, about 3 inches off the floor, and the other leg is bent at a right angle. So if you know what a bicycle crunch looks like, this looks like the start to a bicycle crunch. But you never change your leg position. One leg is at a right angle, the other leg is outstretched straight. And then your upper body remains off the floor with just your lower back and mid back, so basically like the lower thoracic spine and your lumbar spine is on the floor. Now you're simply going to crunch up for 10 reps, and then without letting your upper body down or your legs down, you're going to switch legs. Now, if the left leg was stretched out straight and the right leg bent at a right angle, now you're going to bend the left leg at a right angle and the right leg will be outstretched, and you'll do another 10 reps. When 10 and 10 gets easy, you will then do 12 and 12. When that gets easy, you'll do 15 and 15, and so on and so forth. The one leg up crunch forces people to contract their abs and keep them contracted. That is why it's great. Because there are a lot of people doing ab and core exercises out there, but their core does not remain engaged. So they are actually relaxing between reps. And it's my belief that since most people's core is relaxed during the day, there should be a time of concentric isometric contraction that allows people to get used to using their core and keeping it tight. So don't be surprised if you fatigue pretty quickly with this one. But it's a nice exercise and pretty safe at the same time to do as well. All right, now we balance our abs always with a Superman movement or Superwoman movement, or we balance it with bridging. And today we're going to do bridging. So all you're going to do is stay in your crunch position. Now you're going to put both feet on the ground. Let your head touch the ground now, shoulders back. And you're going to put both feet on the ground and pull your heels in almost all the way into your hips. So you're basically in like a sit-up position right now. Now, the only thing we're going to do is we're going to cross the arms. Just fold them across your chest. And bonus points if you can roll up a towel or use a pillow between your knees. Now you're simply going to lift your hips off the ground slowly, squeeze your glutes, especially at the top, and then descend or come down slowly. About 1 inch above the ground, you're going to come back up. We're going to do anywhere from 10 reps to up to 30 reps. And if this is too difficult, well, then just put your hands by your side on the floor, and you don't have to do the towel between your knees quite yet. But really important, because most people compensate by trying to push with their hamstrings cramp up, and it's a really good giveaway that you're not using your glutes enough. So let's work those glutes. Remember, they should become stronger. They're very metabolically active. They are the largest muscle in the body, right? So we want to use those glutes, lift the glutes, right? Strengthen them, and really, really beneficial. So that is your 9 exercises. You can go back, you can listen to this, and what you're going to do, you can set your timer for 1 minute maximum between each. Most won't take you a full minute. And then if the minute hasn't buzzed on your timer, well, you can take a 20-second rest if you wanted to, and then you'll go into your next exercise. You'll give yourself a 1 minute full rest at the end of these 9 exercises, and then you'll repeat if you would like. Why don't you need a longer rest? Well, the reason is this. The last 2 exercises, you're on your back, so your body's actually calming down for 2 minutes. Your heart rate's coming down, but also it's been 9 minutes since you did your first exercise. So 9 minutes since you did push-ups. So you have plenty of time to rest those chest muscles per se before you go back to that exercise. So I'll be doing this one 2 to 3 times a week. I have a couple other exercises that I'm doing, other workouts that I'm doing in there, but for sure, this is one of my main staples. Like on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you could absolutely be doing this. So hopefully this has been helpful. Again, any questions, happy to help. We'll try to get as many of the images and photos and videos as we can, just as an adjunct to the 9 exercises I just gave you. I will list those 9 exercises as well at stevencabral.com/1525. I hope this has been helpful. I hope you're keeping yourself active. Again, if there's anything that I can do to help, please do feel free to let me know. Take care, everyone. And of course, do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.